Hello guys, my name is Fer. I am a developer here at Chipi, and today I wanted to introduce you guys to our tools and SDK, and also to us. We are ChipiPay. We essentially make in financial infrastructure as a service. That is, we provide tools for developers so they can build anything that needs transactions, marketplaces, anything that needs a financial infrastructure can benefit from using our technologies. So as an introductory video, I'm gonna walk you guys through explaining how I make this really simple app from the quick start to the dashboard to using our most basic hooks and components, so that you guys can make something like this. And if you guys make something interesting, please tag us. We're really excited to see what you make. So for this started app, we're gonna have like the building block for everything. That is a wallet, because we need transactions, we need to receive money, we need to see those transactions, and also we need like a shareable card so that people can send us money. I'm gonna walk you through making something like this. It's gonna be an option to make your wallet with either PIN or passkey. You're gonna be able to copy your wallet and obviously also the normalized address so that you can see it in Voyager and any explorer for the wallets in blockchain in the Starnet. Okay, and you're gonna see your balance, and also you're gonna be able to transfer with either PIN or passkey. All right, put in your recipient. You're gonna be able to share it with a QR and see the transactions that you've made. This is an app that I already tested with PIN transactions and passkey transactions, so you don't have to worry about it. So yes, this repo, I'm gonna upload it to you guys, and with a folder of components so that you can see and copy paste if you need anything, if you're building a game or something interesting. Okay, so let's get to it. So now we're gonna open our favorite code editor, and we're gonna use the command to create a new Next.js app. All right, we're gonna use the defaults, and we're gonna follow the tutorial that is in our docs. We're gonna go to the main page, that is chipipay.com. We're gonna go to docs, and then we're gonna arrive to the Next.js introduction. It's gonna tell us what we can do, wallet manager, what we have, session, MC support. That's an interesting protocol that we are gonna touch on another session. But for now, let's go to the main quick start. I already have an account, but creating one, it's really easy. You are gonna create one. It's gonna send you a code that you're gonna get, and then you're gonna arrive to this page. Once you are on this page, we're gonna create an organization. For example, I'm gonna be Chipi forever. I am a developer. Excited. Oh, to show other devs what they can build. I'm gonna put, I think, yeah, it's already created. So now that we have our, like, we're in the quick start, what we are gonna do is that we're gonna follow, as the quick start says, all the quick start to creating our project, configuring authentication, and pasting our end bars. So we're gonna follow the quick start as it is. We're gonna copy our end bars. Then we're gonna copy the provider, and important, I think I was going too quickly, but essentially you can choose different providers. I'm gonna go with Clerk since it's the easiest among them, but you can choose whatever it is that you desire. I'm just gonna go, since it's a quick tutorial, with the Clerk thing, and I'm gonna copy the providers and put it on my layout. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go to Clerk. I already created this organization in order to start with you guys. I'm gonna also follow the quick start as it says. I'm gonna also follow the quick start since I'm gonna need this template. If you get confused, it also tells you here that you need to create your own. I mean, you can go to this guy and it's gonna guide you through. You need to create your Next.js app, then you need to install the package from Chipi, then you need to start the package from Clerk, you need to copy your bars, and you have to add the Clerk provider, which is essentially the same quick start that you see over here. So, well, except for the proxy part, but don't worry about it. So yeah, as to right now, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna follow the guide from Clerk. Not the first part, because we already have our project. Then I'm gonna go ahead and copy my env bars. And I'm gonna take this Clerk secret key, all right? Because as it says on my ChipiPay dashboard, I need to configure my JWT endpoint. We do not store this secret key. We only use it to retrieve the JWT endpoint Still, if for some reason you don't feel like you trust it, or maybe you make some changes that change your endpoint and you later have to configure it manually, you're gonna go over here, you're gonna go to API keys, you're gonna go to auth provider, I'm sorry. You're gonna choose the auth provider and you're gonna paste your JWT endpoint over here. If you don't know where to get this, you're gonna go to configure in your Clerk account, you're gonna go to API keys, and you're gonna copy this JWK's URL. All right, so now I think we have everything. No, we don't have anything. We need our proxy in order to have our protected paths. And I think that's it. And we need our layout wrapper. Leg provider. Um, Leg provider. Okay, so now we have everything to start working on the exciting parts. All right. Now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna create our first component that is the building block for everything. I'm gonna create you a components folder. And I'm gonna go ahead and create a create wallet component. I'm gonna walk you through the basic implementation that it's the create normal wallet. Then we're gonna go with create with passkey and just see like baby steps. All right. So for our create wallet component, I already have this component that is for the app that you received, but I'm gonna walk you through all the necessary steps. So as you can see, the imports are use state from React just to set the state from different form fields. The auth, this is really important to authenticate your responders and verify that they come from you. So you have authorization, but also you need to verify that each transfer comes from the user that you are transferring to, and that is linked to their user ID, which you're gonna pass, and their face. You need to authorization, authentication. Remember those things. We're gonna import the types and the useCreateWallet hook. useCreateWallet hooks retrieves various things. That is data. CreateWallet assume that it's a function. This is persistent. If you already called, it will. If you already use this function to get your wallet, it can be stored over here, and you can call it multiple times without having to call Chipi every time you want to know the wallet. All right. You're gonna use this to set the pin. We're gonna use an async function in order to use the create wallet async function, and we're gonna pass the pin. The encrypted key in this case is gonna be the pin. We can do the passkey, but we're doing it in a later part. The external user ID is gonna be the user ID that your provider uses, and the chain that is currently we're only supported on Starnet. We plan on supporting various chains, but for now the Starnet, and the wallet type is gonna be Chipi. All right. This is gonna be explained in future releases, but for now just use Chipi. And then, okay, it's gonna alert us when the wallet was created successfully. You can also use a chassis and Sonar component, but for now, I think this is fine. And just a simple form with a pretty design that I use from design prompts. If you guys want to change it, I'm gonna show you how you can change it later on. But we have the label to sell the pin code and accept password so that it appears as dot as the user write it. The min length is 4. You can use 16 if you want. I'm gonna use 4 for now. And the submit button of creating, it's gonna tell us if there is an error, and then it's gonna show the contact as data public key, that it's of the thing that it returns. If you wanna see what other things it returns get all the response, the ID, the external user ID, that is the ID that you use, to which organization it belongs, the public key that is and project that is linked to, the public key of the address, that is the hash that is returned to which you will deposit on the blockchain, the normalized one, because as you know, sometimes it adds a few zeros for different apps do that, but it's normalized so that you can find it anywhere. The encrypted private key, if it is deployed and when it's updated, and the type of wallet it is, as well as the chain that it belongs to. Okay, so I'm just gonna don't save this because I didn't know what to change. And yeah, so that is what our hook returns. So this is our first and main wallet component. Then we're gonna go ahead with another fun component that is I think it's gonna be our normal transfer component, because later we're gonna be like, I'm gonna call it transfer with pin component. All the code that I made here is made on top of the examples that you're gonna find on our docs. I just added a few more things so that the design is prettier, and I think it will be richer, because if you copy this report, you can just copy paste the things and have like a little bit of a styled wallet component. So we're gonna go ahead and go with the transfer. I'm gonna go ahead and copy the one that I have from the tutorial that from the repo that I already made, and I'm gonna explain to you guys what we have. This is the Sonar component. This Sonar component we can get from ChassisDN. Well, yeah, I did. And we're gonna go from Sonar. It's over here. I'm gonna copy this one and I'm gonna install it, and everyone will be happy. And I'm gonna explain to you guys while this is installing everything that you need. As you can see, the get token, this is very important so that you can authenticate where this is coming from. You're gonna import the hook. you're gonna import this other hook that comes from Chipi that is for use passkey. Yes, because I think I mixed the two. Well, it doesn't matter. But if this is pretty confusing, I think I'm gonna comment it for now. I'll I'll explain it further later. Alligator. But for now, the only thing that you need to know is that this is installed in the Sonar. Okay, yeah. And okay, important things. This authenticates where this is coming from. This is the transfer async hook. This, don't worry about it. We'll see it in a little bit. This is the set pin. This is where the recipient comes from. The hash use states for all the state that is there. And then we are using another hook that is the useGetTransactionStatus. Why? Because we need to see if you're ever on Voyager. I'm gonna go ahead and point you through it. I think it's okay. I'm gonna do okay. Contact is not deployed. I'm gonna go to Voyager and just get into, let's see. This is a block. This is a transaction. You see how different transactions have different state whenever it's received, accepted on L2, accepted on L1. Essentially, what this hook of the get transaction status does is that it tells us which is the transaction status. And as you can see, it can be one of these. Is it received, pending, accepted, rejected, not received? And the terminal status, because they're intermediate status, can be either accepted, not accepted, rejected, or reverted. Okay, so this is why we're importing this status. We're going to do it. We are doing it right now is that we're saying, do we have the TX hash that is set when we receive the transaction? The TX hash is what when you transfer something, you get a hash like this. So it's getting from this hash when what of these different statuses is, okay? So we are gonna pass in the token. The refetch interval, this is a value that it's not required to put. I just put the default value. You are gonna be fine if you don't use that. The query option is just enabled with the TX hash, okay? And then we're gonna use this use effect to see what is this status. So I'm gonna explain to you guys this use effect, all right? That is our like status checker. So what we're doing is, for example, here we're checking if there is no status yet, if the status hasn't changed since last time, then we save the new status, all right? Then we have if there is reverted or by any reason the status of didn't go to the final stage, then we have to show the reason, all right? And then this just checks our progress. If we check if it's not terminal, if it's just checking like in which stage the status is it received, pending, or terminal. And finally, we check if it's on L1 or L2. Else we see like what is the current status or showed like the undefined, and it's linked to the TX status. Finally, we have our submit that has, okay, we get our bearer token. If we don't have it, we just show like a small toast that we don't have it yet. And we have this hash if you want to console log it and show it in the toast, but essentially we rename what this returns, that is the hash, to something that we can give to the user. And the params are the amount that the user inputs, the encrypted key that is going to authorize this transaction, the wallet address that is authorizing this transaction, and the token that is acceptable. Currently, guys, we only accept USDC, but we're working on accepting different tokens. So for now, you're going to be putting USDC and the recipient address that is going to receive this money. Then this for our passkey, you don't have to worry about it, but you have the recipient and the amounts. And then I'm going to show you how it will be with the recipient. Just let me finish installing this. Okay, now with our passkey hooks. If you guys are familiar with passkeys, we have a lot of different hooks in order to work with them, authorize transaction, recorder, and even migrate a wallet made with a pin to be able to migrate to a passkey. I don't know if you guys at some point have a device, or I don't know, one of your users has a device, an older device that does not support passkey. You can make it so that later they can create their account with key, or then migrate to passkey, or give the choice to the user whenever he wants to migrate for one of or the other. All right, so what we have right now is migrate wallet to passkey, transaction status, and let me see where my passkey hooks are. Okay, as you can see, it was over here, like Next.js guys, how you can use passkeys as pin. It's really easy, honestly. You just have to install this Chipi passkey hook. It's gonna tell you what to import for using an authenticating wallet with passkey. If you're gonna use this package, passkey auth, and you're gonna use the main package that you also use for the transactions with PIN, that is the useTransfer hook. It's also an option to migrate the wallet because we have users who started with us and we didn't have this option yet, and they wanted to migrate their current users. So we habilitated this option so that you can migrate your users. But I don't think that if you start, or well, you can use it for the use cases that I mentioned before. I don't know. And then we have some options to create the wallet with passkey. This is a component that I use for basically everything. It's gonna ask you in your chain, your external user ID, the encrypted key, and the token, the JWT that you get from the get out function from Clerk. And this local store thing, you don't need it. but essentially this is the main and I think the set of passkey, yeah, set of passkey comes from, yeah, or use passkey setup. This is gonna prompt your browser or PWA, wherever you're building, to automatically ask you for a passkey. So this is really exciting because you only need to copy paste a few things. As here you can see that, let me see where my passkey things are. This is not from passkey. This is handle passkey transfer. This is gonna tell you to authenticate, use passkey auth. This is what prompts the window of put your passkey or scan the QR code, whatever your different passkey provider is. I personally use Google. It's gonna prompt the window so that you can get that encrypt key. All right, and then it's as easy. Well, if anything fails, it's gonna show like you can pass the error or show error, but essentially the params that I already talked to you about, the number of the amount, the encrypted key, the wallet, the token, the recipient, and the bearer token, is as easy as just pasting this line to accept passkeys. All right. And then for our form, I just have like this paper card, which I'm gonna show you the styles for, you can copy it later. Just use like a cute little H2 and a form that asks you for all the different components. I have this disabled for now, but you don't have to worry about it. I'm even gonna delete it for now. It's not necessary. It's for a different tutorial that I'm going to be making later on. So now we only have the create wallet component and transfer with pin. The create wallet component and the transfer with pin, I'm going to rename it since it also includes passkey. I'm going to rename it to transfer component. I was initially going to divide it into two components, but I realized that they can coexist. Still, I'm going to divide the create with passkey. Create with passkey component.txx. And what we're going to use now is here with the passkeys as key, we have the component to create the wallet with passkey. All right. So this component, what it does is that it uses the setup with passkey, as explained with the transfer one, and this pops up the thing that we talked about with the Google that lets you input your passkey and biometric, and you simply pass that as the encrypt key in the create wallet async parameter. All right. So this is essentially all that is needed. I'm just gonna explain it if you guys don't understand. As before, we're gonna get the get token, then the create wallet async from Chipi. I'm gonna use the use state to set the wallet. And then this local storage, you can set it, but it's not necessary. So essentially, we have our get wallet component, so you don't really need to save like in local storage of anything. We just put it like, I think it was because of an expo tutorial. I'm not completely sure, or a different use case, but the thing is you can do it, but that step is completely optional. And then we're gonna move to we're already gonna have transfer. We're gonna move to our transaction table. Okay, table.tsx. This transaction table uses our component in order to get all of the transactions made by a single wallet. That is really helpful. Maybe you guys want to make like a personal wallet to start using, or maybe you want to integrate it into an already existing application that you have. That's what is interesting. And you are not limited to only receiving transactions in a certain coin or paying extreme fees or anything. We also give you guys the gas for the transaction, so that's another benefit. So then we have like the get transaction status. Get transactions list was over here. It has a pagination and limit. The default is 10, and the page is gonna be one. It's gonna give you one by one if you don't want like the whole list like upfront, right? And let's see, what are things? The query the page, the limit, how much transaction per page is, from which wallet address, what is the function that it was called. Maybe it was a transaction, maybe it was a transaction of an NFT, maybe it was the creation of a wallet. There are different types of call functions that you can do. Maybe you received the money, or maybe you send it, when it was, the day, the get bearer token, that is the authentication that counts, and the return is now we have the return balance. That is the data that is in form paginated response or undefined. If it's loading, if there is an error, refetch, and also the fetch transaction list with custom params. And this is the example implementation that's here. As you can see, is the same issue. You pass your bearer token, you pass your query and pagination. All right. So now I'm gonna copy and paste this. Excellent. I think we have everything except for maybe a few design changes, a table to make this more beautiful. This is pure design, front-end design, nothing out of the ordinary. And our last component is where everything will come together. That is our dashboard. That is where our wallet will be rendered, our share wallet will be rendered. Okay. So for this like kind of wallet dashboard, let me just wallet dash. Awesome. And what this does is essentially it normalizes some, I don't think I even need this. Oh no, it normalizes the, no, I do need this. I remember why I did this. That is because for testing purposes, I use really small amounts of a transaction, usually like 0.000 of a dollar. So I ask Cursor to make me a function in order to normalize this and I be able to show it because I have an error that says like big int cannot parse, yada, yada, you know. Then we have the wallet dashboard. What it does is that it uses our useGetWallet hook that it's over here. And then it passes, it renames this because if you know, you cannot have two variables with the same name. So the params that it renames them to something different. It's loading error fetch wallet, that is the function. And then the get token balance, that is also really useful for you to get checking how much you want. Maybe it's better if you catch it before sending it and using the using the SDK hooks to know, like, for example, you are using it for a marketplace. That is going to be a good idea for a tutorial next one. Maybe next tutorial is going to be a marketplace tutorial, and you want to catch the transaction before you make the send. So you're gonna check the balance if the user have enough tokens to transfer, and if not, you don't even send it. You just tell him he doesn't have enough to purchase whatever it is. So it's also going to be a really useful one. You're going to pass the chain token that is going to be USDC, the startnet, and the wallet public key, or maybe something else, or maybe you can make a catch, like if wallet is not there, then return and don't show anything, or of these options. All right, and you have the load wallet or fetch wallet. I don't think this is, oh no, yes, this is needed. Okay, excellent. And then you have like a toaster, a render with the passkey pin, wallet error, where is your balance and everything. And now the only thing that we're missing is our CSS. So the styles, I actually got them from, let me just give me a sec. The styles I got them from, I think it was Design Props. This is like a cool hack that I have. If you want to explore, obviously you're gonna want to build on top of this, but for example, this one I made it in like a sort of, I don't know how to say it, synthwave style that I got it from here, but we can try different ones. For example, this Van House one looks pretty modern dark. I think maybe for this one, let's do a different design, just so you guys can see how easy it is that you can make your, okay, this looks really cool. Just so you guys can see how easy it is to launch your idea. I'm just gonna go with the Van House one. I'm gonna get the prompt, and then I am gonna ask him this design for my components so that I can have a wallet with Bauhaus style. Bauhaus. Oh, and I'm just missing like the main page, but it doesn't matter. It's just this. So let's just give it a minute. So now we're gonna just go ahead and and test this. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and create my account. I'm gonna get my code. And now I am over here and there is no passkey, no wallet yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and create it with a passkey. After this, I'm gonna show you how it also works with the pin, but I think it looks cooler with the passkey. The thing is, once it get like linked to the wallet, get linked to a user, you cannot create it for another user with the same, I don't know how to say it. I am missing like a refresh button, but here it is. When I reload the screen, you can see that I have my wallet with my normalized key. I don't have any balance yet. I can transfer USDC, and this is, I think this is missing, yeah, this is missing some styles. Let me just, yeah, now we can see it. And if you scan this QR code, it's gonna be the same code for this wallet, and don't have any transactions. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go ahead and give this wallet some cash. Let's see, yeah, it's sent. So now we have some balance to play a little bit. And what I'm gonna do is I already have like an open session because I created one while you guys weren't looking. So what I'm gonna do is that in here, I am going to get the normalized key and I'm gonna deposit some money. Yeah, from here to here. This is my recipient address. I'm gonna send a really small amount and I'm gonna transfer it with passkey since I created my wallet with passkey. So now it's processing. It already told me that it has made the transaction and it's given me the transaction hash. So if I go to Voyager, if I go to Voyager over here, not with contract, but and I place this transaction, it can tell me that it effectively did, it passed. And then when I go over here again and I refetch my balance, supposedly, I think I have, it's a really small amount. Yes, because it's already recorded my transfer over here. Yeah, it's because of the formatted amount. It's a really small amount, so it's because of the formatted amount. So let me just go ahead and fix it, but it's not a problem of implementation. It's a problem that I am testing with smaller amounts. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. As you can see, it was really easy to implement a design and these functionalities. It is as easy to create apps nowadays. So if you ever need a financial infrastructure, if you're making a marketplace, so again, something that requires the use of transaction wallets and the use of transfers and money, you know now how to implement these features in your application. You know now how easy it is and how cheap it is to have this financial infrastructure. I hope I can see you guys in our next tutorials and hear your feedback. Bye bye.